Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Spooked Coast to Coast. And happy Halloween month to y'all. And as always, we are pleasantly surprised that we are
month already
in Halloween, even though we're filming this another time. But hey, we're going to make this work. So this is going to be Halloween month. We're filming this episode a month ahead of time because there's going to be a weekend that we are not here, and we don't want to leave you guys without anything. So, as always, your four hosts, we have the incredible JJ Paranormal, Joy, and Joey. And also,
I'm forgetting this isn't live. I was like, they have a video now.
And as always, Jen and Mondo, 305 Paranormal. And babe, why don't we talk about the good old folks that we'll be having on for today?
Yes, so today we are bringing on Fred and Steven. They are known as Curious Twins Paranormal on all social media. They do events, and they are now the proud new owners of Yorktown Memorial Hospital.
Yeah.
Round of applause for them.
Yes.
Congratulations, you two. That's a monumental step. A lot of folks aspire to be where you're at. So congratulations with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
And that place is on everyone's bucket list since like forever. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, what an amazing location. So, as Curious Twins Paranormal, can you tell us how you guys started?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So we started in 2017. That was when we began our company. Fred had previously owned a restaurant for many years. I had been in nonprofit work, and we saw that there was kind of a need for a tour company that would kind of look at some of the darker parts of our history, because, you know, a lot of times in Texas history, it's very glorified. We have the heroes of the Alamo, particularly here in San Antonio, but we saw that there was a need for indigenous history, things like that. And so we started our company in 2017, and we expanded to doing kind of boutique tours after COVID, looking at specific haunted properties, working in partnership with haunted properties. So it was always our dream to really own one eventually. And so we're really happy to finally be there in that place.
It's awesome.
Yes.
Bro, I mean, you do you guys kind of like sit back and be like, hey, we literally own one of the most haunted locations
like,
in our state. Like, you like pinch yourself, hey, am I dreaming?
Yeah, I think especially the day after we purchased, it just kind of like synced in and like, wow, this is really cool. It's an exciting time for sure.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome.
And Fred, you were an owner of a restaurant?
Yeah. I for almost all my life I've been vegetarian, vegan, and so I opened up a vegan restaurant here in San Antonio. That kind of a Tex-Mex vegan restaurant, and I have that going, still going now. I sold it. Haven't had it for many years, but it's still open and running.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, congratulations on the sale. Congratulations on the
Yeah, for sure. The sale helped us to open, Curious Twins and start that. So that's kind of our journey. Is I closed one business and was able to start another one. So that was great.
awesome.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, thank God. You used to do the tours at Yorktown, right?
Yes. Yeah. For many years, almost 8 years, we were just kind of like doing tours, doing investigations, handling groups of people, and we just fell in love with it. After so many years of being in the space and guiding people through its halls and creating like a historical, tour for people, it just was someplace that we just fell in love with over and over. Yeah.
So have you guys always loved the paranormal then, right?
Yeah, in different ways too, because for me, I was always just really into like consuming like horror movies, gothic fiction, just like spooky things.
Yeah.
I was a scared little kid. I grew up the youngest of 4 boys, so my older brothers would always try to scare me, and so I was the baby. I was definitely the baby, but I wanted to like get over my fears, so that's how I started like delving really into like the most grotesque, the goriest, And then I, fell in love with the paranormal that way too. And then when I met Fred, he had his own journey, which I'll let him share.
Yeah, I when I was very little, I had really intense paranormal experiences and traumas happen. And out of that, I just kind of wanted to learn about ghost stories. I wasn't really scared of it. And so I kind of looked up every single ghost story. I got to meet this author in Texas that kind of like wrote this amazing definitive book about San Antonio ghost stories. And as a kid, that was like an idol to me. And I really wanted to do what she was doing by sharing stories and sharing people's histories in a way that was fun. Like, I went to school and I wasn't always enthusiastic about history class. But this lady made it fun. And as a kid, I kind of wanted to do that for other kids and for other people, making history a little fun.
Right. That's awesome.
Steven, keeping with the theme of Halloween and being scared and whatnot, and to steal a line from a famous movie, what is your favorite scary movie?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I can't say I have an exact favorite scary movie. I have favorite movies per genre, but if I had to choose, it would be Rosemary's Baby. I just like Mia Farrow looking beautiful in that film. The themes of a satanic cult in the city and paranoia, all of that, I just loved it. And it was just beautiful film as well.
Yeah, a lot of people were scared. Also, they were like, "Oh my god, that movie's demonic," and just it scared a lot of people. To me, quite honestly,
we've heard of it, but I don't think we've seen it.
Yeah.
The older movie.
Yeah,
it's old.
Yeah,
older.
What about current date? What is your scary movie? Favorite scary movie before both of you?
Like a current one?
Like current one, like within the last 5 years.
Oh,
6
man.
years. Well, you gotta get more than that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, 10 years. All right, fine then.
Well, I feel like we really both enjoyed Get Out.
Yeah.
It was really good. Well, there was another one. I'm trying to think if there's any. So also, Fred's not into movies in general.
I'm a big book nerd, and I have seen probably less than 55 movies in my whole life.
Really?
Yeah. And so, when people are talking about movies, I'm like,
that's Joy.
That's so big.
Joy's the same way.
Apparently, I don't watch enough movies.
What's your favorite book? Do you like horror books or
I am probably I'm actually very much a nonfiction person, but as far as kind of horror ish, I would say I've always been drawn to The Crucible. It's a play. It's a wonderful piece of a fiction that is very much Americana. It talks about we as Americans having this fear and this paranoia, and it exploits the parts of our human being that makes us kind of gross in some ways. They makes us in some ways fail our fellow humans. So I think I would say that's one of my favorites, just because it's so truthful of humanity.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I don't think I've heard of it. I've definitely never read it, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's all about the Salem witch trials. So
yes. More now. Okay, perfect.
They made a good movie with Winona Ryder and Daniel Day-Lewis. It's a great movie. Great movie.
Yeah. My only books I read is
Daniel Day-Lewis and Winona Ryder.
Have you seen that? You watch more movies than I do.
I'm pretty sure it's Daniel Day-Lewis. I can't recall exactly. Don't quote me on that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Dang, I need to catch up on my movies.
I've probably seen this a while back.
Yeah.
So bad.
I always fall asleep. I just get so tired at the end of the day and I fall asleep. I'm like, man, I got to watch them during the daylight, daytime.
Yeah,
they put eyelids together like that.
When we watch movies together, we watch it in parts. So we'll do a
That's
third.
me. Yes.
Lord.
Yes.
That's why I give up and I'm like, you're on your own, buddy. I'm just going to watch it myself. It was great. If you want to watch it, go ahead.
Either you fall asleep or I fall asleep, and we're always like, hey.
But wake each other up.
Yeah. I think we'll finish it another day.
Do you have anything paranormal that's happened to you that you want to share?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Growing up.
Yeah, growing up. Yeah, so growing up, one of the most intense experiences that I ever had was I would get visited like in my room by things that I didn't really understand. And one of these was this green man. And I remember that he would like often like sit on this popcorn tin, there's like 80s, 90 popcorn tins that, people had. He would sit on top of it and he would just like look at me and he would breathe. And I could just see him like labored breathing. And he was just like kind of his skin was falling off. He didn't look like he was well. And he would always try to talk to me, but he couldn't really talk. And, but he always looked like he was scared or he needed help. And I think that, this was a really kind of freaky thing to me as a kid. And I wasn't even able to like talk to my parents about it. I was just so afraid of it. But over time, I think I've learned that I think that person, whatever that was that would visit me, was really just needing company. Like, he was trying to talk. He was trying to have that attention. And so I think that may be one thing that's interested me in the paranormal is that I think sometimes, spirits aren't out to scare us or hurt us or harm us, but they sometimes have a need to be acknowledged and maybe even like, whatever's happened in their life, be like put to some kind of justice or just, given some love in that way.
Wow.
Do you think you're gifted? Do you feel like you're gifted in a way?
Like a medium thing.
So I do. I consider myself a medium. I do readings for people. I'm a channeler, and so I kind of channel one spirit at a time. But I've done this for many years, and I still do it. It does definitely connect me with clients and their families. It's an interesting thing, and sometimes it is really profound. Like, for me, a lot of times I'll leave a session and the client is crying, I'm crying. It's just like an emotional, it can be a really emotional thing. But yeah, I definitely try to connect people with spirit and to, I guess, goal is to provide some kind of healing if it's needed.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. I see stuff out of the corner of my eye, but I feel like people that's experienced stuff like you have and other people, I feel like maybe they're gifted somehow because I feel like it takes, a special to be able to see that.
I really believe that we're all gifted. I think that it's sometimes like how we hone it, how we spend our time with it. Sometimes we have a lot of fear, in our lives that maybe block us and keep us like trying to keep safe. And sometimes we just rip that Band-Aid off and we go for it. And I think, sometimes if we choose, we can develop that gift even more. But I think each and every one of us has it. We just have to play with it if we want.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that too, that everybody's gifted, but I think I'm just so blocked that I try to tune it out too because I don't want to get scared.
That's
you.
Is that we have safety parameters and some boundaries on our own psyche. And sometimes, maybe it's there for a reason. Maybe we're not ready to step in there. Maybe if we step in there, something else will be affected in our life. So that's our own personal boundaries. And if you're ever ready, see what happens.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Jen's
ready.
Yeah, Jen's gifted as well. So
that's great. Awesome.
I'll just go to her.
You what?
I'll just use her gifts. I have a question. I'll just send them. If I see something, I'll just go to Jen. Tell her what you need.
And I'm like, don't go over here.
Return to sender.
Yeah. I'm always on the computer. I'm like, every time we do something, like we try to tap into her dolls or whatever. I'm like, okay, shoot.
She has a whole protection behind the screen that we don't see.
Hey, do you guys have you noticed? Do you guys do like this, like other shows or whatever, or have people experienced maybe like something paranormal through the computer for you?
Oh yeah,
actually talking about that because that does happen for us.
Yeah.
Well, maybe like
it is often. Sometimes I do Zoom readings sometimes, and I've
like that. Yes.
Through that, I had an experience once where, I had this lady who had a very protective father come in. And I had like these bookshelves behind me and I was doing this reading and I like the whole house shook and I actually had a few books come off of the shelf. And I believe it was that father's energy of being like, no, I'm very protective of this person and this person needs some guidance, and was just kind of really showing up for her. That I've experienced stuff like that. Very energetic based, I guess, more so.
Wow. That's crazy. It's like that's something I picture in my head.
Didn't hit me in the head.
You're like, you gotta duck out.
Oh, don't hit me. But, as a medium, actually talking about that. So, have you experienced when say when somebody comes in, or even like if you're not even trying to read anybody, like just they'll come to you at your house, right?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You
Yes.
notice, like, is there a specific thing that you notice that happens? Maybe like damn, how can I say, like a pressure drop? I'm giving you an example of what happens to me. Like it's almost like somebody opens the door, like when you open a door in a house, you can kind of feel like or something.
Yeah, that's actually so good, so accurate. I love that. I have never put that into words. I've always kind of just like thought of it as like when the AC goes on, like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of idea, but yeah.
Yeah. So is that what it feels like for you?
Yeah, very much so. I've always thought of it. I love that pressure, the door opening, but I've always put it like the AC, kicking on, like yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Because I'm gonna start asking that to people because I kind of wonder, like, I take like I listen to people talk about their journey and some classes I do whatever, practice circles, and like I like hearing what they happen. And I mentioned like sometimes I'll hear in the middle of the night like the tile crack. And I'm a light sleeper, so I'm like immediately I'm like, what the hell? And I can feel like I'm like, go away. Like I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah.
But it'll feel like off, and then I guess they just do whatever. I just go back to sleep because I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if that's like little things that you see, like people are like, oh yeah, that is a thing,
Yeah, I would definitely identify it like that. Spot on how you said it. Yeah,
that's cool. Do you do something in particular for you both, actually, for protection? Because a lot of people think Yorktown's very negative. Like, is there something you guys do?
So I always carry copal and sage with me. I always have extra coals with me. I've had to do work on people, and most of the time, I don't find that there's evil spirits there. I don't think that really is there, but I think sometimes people bring stuff in with them. It's a place where people want to experience stuff. They have this energy, and so we've had some really intense stuff happen to people. I have had folks like come in kind of drunk, and I have had to do stuff with them after because that opened them up.
Yeah.
So we definitely have that stuff, and when I've seen it, it's mostly when people have had a couple of drinks, when people shouldn't be doing what they're doing and trying to investigate at the same time.
Yeah.
That's very important too. A lot of people don't, they don't even think about that. If you're not into the paranormal, they're like, whatever. They're taking this tour and they get lit before going in, and then they're just like a mess because you've seen that.
More vulnerable.
What is your rules as far as like renting? Like, do you allow like Ouija boards, or do you allow like stuff like that, like darker stuff? Now that we're on this,
So I very much have it to where people can explore, in any format that they want. It is not a place that is a home that people live in, that people are, really that kind of thing. So I am comfortable with letting people practice those kinds of things and experiment with the paranormal there. If this was someplace that was like my Airbnb and people could stay overnight, I don't know if I would feel the same way. But because it's, the thing is, I use it very much like an educational, thing. I also teach like how to use things properly, so I've had classes and demos, and so we try to, if we are going to let people do stuff, we also try to inform people of how to do things smartly and carefully.
We always tell people to it's important to be respectful, not just of the spirits but of each other. And while you may be comfortable using a spirit board, maybe the next person next to you will be freaked out by that. So just, get permission from people, be respectful of other people's space.
Yeah.
And also just don't provoke, we're not here for that.
Right.
We care about the spirits that are there, and we care about their histories, and we don't want to intentionally try to anger anybody, living or dead.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, these are important stories, and they're part of our community stories, and so we want to make sure that we're not making a mockery of the paranormal, but we're treating it with reverence and respect.
I agree. Right. That's awesome. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
let's get into Yorktown a little bit. So, what is your favorite? Oh, can you give us a brief history of that location, actually, first?
Yeah, do you want to do that?
Yeah, sure. So, super briefly, the hospital itself was originally formed in the very early 1950s. At this time, the nearest hospital that would have been to Yorktown would have been in San Antonio, which today is an hour and a half away if you're driving. And so it was quite the trek if you were seriously injured. And so the Catholic Church got together with community, raised funds, sought some really large grants out, and was able to build it. It was originally run by the Felician Sisters of the Roman Catholic Church, and it functioned from that time frame all the way up until 1986.
Mhm.
At that time, it was repurposed as a drug rehab facility up until 1992. And in 1992, it was completely abandoned, and it has been kind of not used as a functioning kind of building since then.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I mean, it was a rural hospital, but you know there is a documented physician who has said that he believes that there's been over 2,000 deaths in the time it was just a hospital, which is
I believe it. Yeah.
an immense amount of deaths for a small town like Yorktown.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of deaths, but I think we also, when we look at that, you know, we've had a lot of people like locally that are like, that's just bullshit. You know, like they're like, that's not real. The idea that 2,000 people died there. But I also like to kind of share that it was a hospital for a rural community. So it served many different cities in DeWitt County. So it probably served like 4 or 5 small cities, and people are coming in from, 20, 30 miles just to get medical care. And so the idea of maybe 56 people dying, monthly, I don't
And
think
then
that's that crazy, or purely rather.
Yeah, medicine and science was different back then than it is now. You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
One of the things that we have uncovered is a lot of the deaths that hospital experienced were in delivery, labor, these kind of things. And so that's changed a lot over the years, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What would you consider the most active areas for you there?
Well, what we've noticed in our time there is that it is kind of different every time, and it is, it responds to people's energies and what they're, if we have mothers, if we have younger people, it is responsive to people's energies. And so I find that a lot of times, we do have the chapel, that delivery and maternity ward area, the upstairs, which is the nuns area. Depending on who's there and their style of investigation, it can be a little bit more active than others.
Yeah, I mean, I would say everywhere we've kind of investigated in the hospital, at some point I've experienced something. I've collected something that was at least interesting to me that I saved. But, I grew up super Catholic and really involved. My family was really involved in the Catholic Church. And so for me, I've had the most profound experiences in the chapel. I've had a lot of experience. We also host like spirit communication seances or demos that we do with people so we can kind of share equipment, how things work and all those things. And so I'm usually the one that does those for folks. And after doing those like 7 years in a row, several times a year, we have just realized, that there are different energies that come in. Sometimes it is very much just people coming in wanting to say, hey, I died this way. Sometimes we have nuns that have come through spirit communication and have shared with us that, they were being, molested or bothered by, somebody within the community there. We have also had, very much, just people come in and tell us about that they lost, their father there, or they lost somebody there, and they're a spirit that didn't die there, but they come back there because maybe somebody they really loved died there. And so we've experienced some different things in there, but one of the most like haunting experience that I had ever was when I didn't expect it at all. I wasn't doing anything. I was just walking around the hospital, and I was giving a tour when I was doing this, and we turned a corner, and there happens to be like an old wheelchair that has been left behind that's just kind of like deteriorating, through the years. And on this wheelchair, as I turn the corner and I have people behind me, I like jump back like into my group because there's somebody sitting in it. You know, I clearly see for a second somebody sitting in it. It takes me aback because what I see is a gentleman and he's yawning, and you can almost see like the saliva just kind of like dripping out of his mouth as he's stretching it. And he looks at me and he's very like almost confused, and then he's completely gone. And so after that tour is over, you know, I'm back there and I go back to that same wheelchair and I set up an SLS camera and I start talking. And within just maybe 30 seconds, you know, they have some figure on that SLS and they're just waving back. And so I think sometimes things you just don't expect. I think the hospital, some of these are residual spirits that are just continuing on, maybe as if they were still in that hospital as a patient. And some of them are highly intelligent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Joy, you were going to say something?
No, I'm just thinking. I want to go there so bad. Like,
she's going to be.
Doesn't want to fly.
yeah, I do. I'm like, how am I going to get there?
Sure.
We got to start branching out of California.
You know how like Waverly has like they're known for their creeper, right? Waverly Hills.
Yes.
So
yes,
for Yorktown, what is their known, like what is it? Entities and stuff like that. You know?
Is there a main cast member?
Yeah, there is. So there has been there was a longtime physician of the hospital, Dr. Leon Norsky, and many people believe that he still lingers. There have been a lot of theories that he's a little bit of a kind of a darker energy. Our theory is really that he was just kind of a gentleman who was kind of stubborn, and he had the longest running kind of medical license in the state of Texas, and he practiced well into his 90s. And so there's documentation of like mistakes and things like that.
Yeah.
But some have theorized that it was intentional. You know, he had a nickname of the Butcher, but we really believe he was just a gentleman who didn't want to retire. You know, he wanted to keep doing what he was doing well into his elder years.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and so he is one spirit that we know many people have experienced there. There's also a young girl that many have experienced there as well. People like to read a book, The Pokey Little Puppy, and they say that kind of will trigger interaction with this young girl.
Yeah.
Do you guys investigate there as much as you can?
Yeah. We have kind of the luxury of getting to investigate with people from all over the place that come and visit us. So we're often investigating with folks and, you know, sharing equipment, whatever. And it's cool. Like, you know, I don't think after 8 years of being there, we're not tired of it at all. You know, we're wanting to dig deeper.
Every time is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can you keep a log? Like maybe if people see, a lot of people see the same spirit or whatever, do you start keeping a log?
That's a great idea. We haven't done that, but I think we have to. Like, we need to keep a spreadsheet about this. This is awesome. Yeah.
That'd be a good idea. And then so maybe that could be like an ongoing investigation. Like, you know, people can find out more about that person, like, you know,
what they experience and piggyback off of what they experienced, or you know.
Exactly. I love that idea. Thank you so much for contributing that. I feel like I got to document somehow and make it really cool.
Because like at the Cosmopolitan, they had inside the rooms they had
NESPR, all of it,
books, like almost like journals.
Oh, cool.
In each room, so you would allow the whoever staying there to write and document their stay. What they saw. So you could possibly leave like a book at the end and say, hey, like, would you mind if they wanted to?
That's awesome. We have not done that. I love that idea. We have to start. Thank you for that. That's great. It's a great way to keep that history alive too, and over the years. Yeah, love it.
You know what? A lot of times when we do investigations, say I'm wearing a historic train or whatever, I'll start reading or Armando starts reading like the history of that train, and that starts to like, and if we have equipment around, you start seeing it start doing stuff, like it kind of like amps it up. So if you do blog, maybe they start reading, oh, this person was seen here, this and that. Maybe that it's like a trigger, you know. So
I know. Yeah, that makes sense. I have experienced it like that. So I like that. That's great.
I think it's cool too, because at that point you're getting all these little excerpts from the guests that have come, and then you can kind of look back. Hey, I remember when such and such group was here, and they kept getting the name Anna or something, and you're related to this time period. You guys are getting Anna. Maybe let's try to maybe play music from that era or something to that effect. So it's kind of cool, because it's kind of like a way to keep track of who's been there in the past, and hey, I remember this and what they got from this thing. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I love it.
Little pointers are cool.
I know. Well, our friends Black Smoke Paranormal, they had went there, and
shout out to Stephen Mella. Love you guys.
Yeah. So they went to, I don't know what room it was at, but they were on live. Like they were at this time, they weren't even filming. They were on. They were filming, but it was a live stream.
Sure.
Not like personal filming. And there was like a boy. They didn't catch until after. It looked like a young boy through the thing was like a glass door, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like crazy because they saw it after. They saw it after. So there was like a young boy. It looked like he had like a white shirt. You couldn't really see anything. I don't remember the bottom part, but you can tell it was like a kid.
Wow, that's cool.
And the other thing that I know Mella, like those are the two most profound things was that, and you can see he like walked. So he was panning, and then you see like nothing, and then out of nowhere, like he's there, and then like nothing again. The thing that she experienced, and that was cool for her, was her first ever orb. Like she saw a huge white ball that she thought was a white balloon, and that was she went to like. It was so dark in an area, and she thought it was like curtains or something. And then she went there, and she was like, "What the hell? There's nothing here." And then she was freaked out because she thought some places they leave like balloons and balls and stuff like that for like spirits.
Yeah, of course.
That's what she thought it was originally, and it wasn't. And then like that freaked her out, and I was like, "Oh, it's a white orb." That sounds so nice, actually. Like,
you always remember your firsts.
Well, yeah, and then Jesus, you always tells us about that.
And I had to catch myself, and I started laughing to myself because I was about to be like, "Hey, Mella, can you write on the chat, whatever?"
Yeah,
this isn't
pre-recorded. Yeah.
Real quick, do you have a log of the deaths at the hospital, like a list, a record, like people can see when they first get there?
Who actually hospital?
Since we have purchased it, yes, we do have that. But before, no. No. But the basement does have some folks that have signed and we've documented all the signatures, different teams in the basement that have signed it. So at some point, we probably should put that up, and let people see some of that gallery of that, because it's kind of cool. Yeah. Like Ghost Adventures is on there. Portals to Hell, a couple local shows that have went through.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
It did. Correct me if I'm wrong. For Annabelle, did you guys host Annabelle there? Or was this you are hosting? That did happen already, right?
Yeah. So we did that in May, and that was we hosted it with conjunction of Victoria's Black Swan Inn. So that was here in San Antonio. And we helped bring Annabelle with the New England Society of Paranormal Research to San Antonio and showcase Annabelle, and that was a really cool thing. It was fun.
What did you get? Like,
did you investigate, or did you get a chance?
We were working logistics for the event. I mean, we were just all over the place. So we spent time during an interview, like a TV interview, and we will say that like we experienced an air-conditioned room going probably from maybe 68, 70 degrees all the way maybe to 90 within a matter of like.
Oh, wow.
Hot.
Yeah, like it got really hot. Our backs got really sweaty, and we were like supposed to be on TV and all this stuff, and we were sweating. But that would be kind of what we experienced the most of. Wasn't there some issue with the EMS at some point?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, we had repeated kind of accounts from different guests who were there throughout the day. which included temperature fluctuations, particularly heat, as they got closer to her. There was one instance where, it was a hot day, and we had somebody waiting in line to get into the museum, and they fainted. So we called EMS. They took them away. That was kind of the last we heard of it that day. But the next day, we were hosting, the final tours to go see Annabelle. And the people who were working EMS the day before came by to come and talk to us because it was a really strange experience for them. And they said that the lady who fainted had a very mysterious bite mark on her arm that she didn't know where it came from. And every time that she would fall asleep, that she would keep having these night terrors. And they were just like very traumatic for her. And so they thought that it was so important to come and tell us, and then also go and tell NESPR, who was actually managing Annabelle as well. So that was interesting.
Did they say that bite marks look like human teeth, or did they tell you like deep?
They were deep, is what they described them. But I don't remember hearing them say they looked like human teeth, but they were bite marks that were deep.
Like you could see.
Yeah, and they didn't think that she would have done it to herself just based on kind of the situation. So that's one of the reasons why they wanted to talk to us. They're like, I couldn't see her biting herself.
Right.
Yeah. So,
was it like on her arm? Was it on?
Yes,
Did they?
on her forearm. Yeah. So I mean, it is possible. You could bite that, but
but still, you just
wouldn't imagine. If you,
why would she bite herself in the face?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah,
it was here, like on the forearm, like outer portion, where you like,
You're like,
or like a defensive bite.
That's and she only had one. That's weird. And it's just coincidence. The doll.
It's coincidence. It could be just coincidence, but it's still mysterious. And EMS thought it was enough to tell us.
I mean, who knows? It could be the doll. It could be supernatural. We don't know.
Yeah, it's on a haunted property as well. That we hosted it on a pretty active property where, we know
that place is beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful for sure.
Well, I hope she's okay. She's okay though, right?
No, she's fine. I'm sure she recovered very quickly. She recovered. She didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. They just kind of monitored her, made sure she had some electrolytes, and she was okay.
Oh, good. Yeah. Did she end up going finish? Did she end up going inside to see the dog?
I don't know.
I don't know.
She may have, but we just wouldn't have known unless she told us. We didn't have anybody tell us
that she finished it, so we don't know. Maybe
that in that location when it was there. Is that the same place where there was a photographer that took a picture and then there was like a face in the background? Did you ever hear about that?
Yeah, we've had a couple of different stuff like that. So it might be, the same place. But we've had a lot of weird photos that even our guests have taken over the years there.
Has anybody else been scratched or anything at your location? Did anybody complain?
We have had a couple of people claim to get scratched, on Victoria's Black Swan Inn. But we've had a lot of people get scratched at Yorktown. Yorktown is probably where people get scratched the most. I've had a lot of men get scratched, more so men than women. I don't really get that many women that get scratched, but if I would say they'd have a tattoo. If it's been a woman, they've usually had a tattoo. There.
Wow.
So women that have tattoos get scratched.
But then usually men seem to get scratched.
With tattoos too? With tattoos too?
Yeah, with tattoos, but also not necessarily. Just men in general get scratched up there. And I kind of look at it as, technically men weren't really supposed to be on that floor. It was a convent. And so, I would think, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Get out,
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, especially if you said the
you're looking forward to go.
No, like you said, the nuns would report or attacked or something like that, like assaulted or something like that.
Yeah, we've had a lot of nuns that there has been histories of that we've uncovered. There's even a community rumor, I don't know if it's 100% true, that one nun, ended up getting pregnant by somebody who abused her. and they were forced to have an abortion. I don't know if it's true. It's just something that has been echoed in the community before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then going back to the lady that bit herself, I'm sure somebody would have seen her biting herself if she did it herself too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was a good amount of people there.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild. Yeah. Thankfully, I've never been scratched or anything. I don't think you have. I think Mondo, you've been affected, right?
I mean,
yeah.
They be pinching him all the time.
They
like
pinch me. I've never been like scratched,
poked,
big time.
Little pinches.
The worst that's happened to me, I would say, was like somehow I felt like fingers under my shoulder.
Well, that was a poke thing.
So it was like something was behind me. It dug its
like it jabbed him.
Fingers.
Oh,
my shoulder, and I went like up.
Like he really.
Got a pressure.
I was in. We were in the closet, and I was filming out this way. He was in the door frame of it, and then you can literally like somebody pushed him in the closet, and I was like, "Damn, what happened to you?" Because there was nobody behind him. He was like,
"Move!"
And then he held that for like
minutes.
Even like the rest of the day, he can like feel.
Oh, wow.
I can still feel like
there, which
still
that kind of creeps me out.
Yeah. That's creepy. Yeah.
Now, have you guys been scratched or like anything?
No, the worst. One really bad experience I had was at an old mission in Goliad, Texas. It's called the Presidio La Bahia, and the mission is an area where Santa Ana had executed some 500 Texians in one day.
Wow.
And so the mission itself is a museum, but people can stay in living quarters there. And a lot of times, like, couples will choose to get married in the chapel, and then they'll stay overnight. Mm-hmm. But a lot of investigators like to go there because you get the whole mission to yourself. And it's a really beautiful mission, but the experience there is just really intense. Yeah. And we had gone twice. First time it was just me and Fred. We had a really kind of uncomfortable night. Couldn't really get much sleep. Felt like we were being watched. Felt like there was something there with us. Kept hearing strange noises that we really didn't explain. Mm-hmm. But the second time that we went was with a larger group, and I got really sick to my stomach. And I mean, again, it could be coincidence. I ended up having to go to the hospital the next day, and my appendix was going to burst. So I had to get an emergency appendectomy, get my appendix removed. And, that happens to people all the time, but it was strange that
the timing
was really strange. And like the pain started when we were there and when we got there, and worse and worse and worse. I didn't even investigate that night. I was just curled up into a ball. So that's one place that I'll think twice about going back to, just because it was such an intense experience for me.
Yeah.
As far as where the location, Yorktown, have you guys been affected at all since owning it?
No, we haven't been affected by owning it. I think that what we have felt is the spirit very appreciative. Yeah, like the spirit seemed like very appreciative. We are guys that really love history, and so our goal is to put a new roof on it. We want to make sure it's at this, Texas historical, monument for years and years to come. And so it just seems as if like
they appreciate
nice to us. Yeah, like it's been so positive with us that it's good. I can't ever say that I have felt like true negativity, within that. At least the way we care about the space, it seems like at least they're cool with us, which is
cool. They like you. Yeah, they're like, we're not going to scare them off. Yeah, we don't want them to go anywhere. Yeah.
What is your favorite piece of equipment to use?
I was going to ask that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I teach spirit communication. That's one of the things that I really teach a lot with people, and so I would say I like to teach people how to use their body. I love equipment. I love all those things, but I want to get somebody into a meditative state. I want to get them to be completely aware of everything from their head to their toe. I want that body to be something that can tell them, oh, let's get that SLS out, let's get this out, let's do this, so I would say that's my favorite thing, is like just helping people to use their bodies. And that's what I use a lot myself. I'm going to go in a place and I'm going to walk through it, and I'm probably going to have really profound experiences, and I might have a camera just rolling, but other than that, like, that's probably it for a while, and then we'll break out equipment and we'll do spirit communication stuff. But I really believe that if we get in tune with ourselves, we can experience something. And perhaps the most profound things that we experience are when we are in a state of calm.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Good answer.
I really like our spirit chat device, which is kind of like an obelisk, a database.
I have that, yes. I have one.
We were really skeptical about it at first because how accurate can it be, but we've got really strange, accurate, responses, including the names of people in the room.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting.
Yeah. As much as I shout that out, I wish you would contact me and give me a discount, because I love it.
Yeah.
She's the first person I know that have that. I really always, everybody has the obelisk or whatever.
Yeah. And I have both. And
now I see a lot more people have it, or they're like, oh yeah, I have this, and I was like, Joy has that, and she loves that thing.
Yeah.
And it's very accurate.
Yeah, the only thing, you can't go back and look at the words. That's the
only thing I don't like.
Yeah. That
happened to investigate this past weekend, and there was one there.
Oh yeah, we went to a place in Savannah Paranormal.
Ooh, cool.
And they have a whole bunch that they rent out if you want to. They'll give you, pay $5 and you rent it out if you want to have one walking the location. But that's the only one that they're using. Yeah, I was talking to them. I was like, oh, I really like that thing.
Yeah.
That thing is good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite.
So to wrap up a little bit, I know are you still doing a podcast? Do you guys still do a podcast?
Yes, we do. So we have a podcast called Curious Travels by the Morbid Travel Guide, and we run a blog called the Morbid Travel Guide every week. We put out a different blog, and the idea with that is, like we said earlier, we're just big nerds, and we have really learned a lot about trying to make things better, trying to care about our community through the dark parts of history. And so every episode we'll go travel to a location and we'll share that dark history. We'll unravel it. It's not so much just like the paranormal. It really is dark history, and the idea that we can use this history in travel to make for a better future. And so we love to travel. We love to write about places that we travel to, and we want to connect those people, because a lot of people in that travel circuit and these dark tourism, they're kind of small mom and pop businesses. They're small historical places. And so it's a way that not only do we get to spread this message, but we're building community in America with dark tourism locations. And we know that in the UK and a lot of places, in Europe, dark tourism is a thing. But here in America, we're just getting our feet wet, and we really hope to solidify that a little more.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
That's cool.
So future, what do you guys have going on for October?
Oh God.
Yeah. So October, as you can imagine, is our busy month. But we're really excited because we get to work with different organizations in the city to host public tours that are free to the public. I mean, we still get paid for it, but we work with the San Antonio River Authority. We work with La Vita Historic District. It's a new one this year. And then we also work with the King William Historic District. So for anybody who's interested in learning a little bit about the city in a dark way and kind of getting your feet wet with paranormal investigation, those are always good introductory tours. Mm-hmm. But October is a good time for our cemetery tours as well, where we go to one of the oldest cemeteries in the city Cemetery number 1. It's an old Protestant cemetery, very, very historic, beautiful, lots of the makers and shakers of our city. And we explore it. There's also an optional ghost hunting portion of that tour as well, where people get to use tools and explore the cemetery. And so, yeah, definitely CuriousTwins.com. Yorktown Memorial Hospital, we have special Halloween programming here in San Antonio and in Yorktown.
Yes.
Nice.
Awesome.
So for people, all your social media, and also how can people see Yorktown, please? I know you mentioned something in, before we started recording.
Yeah.
So if you want to get into that, and then that way people can know your social medias and go from there.
So this August, pretty much just after owning the hospital for a little over a month, we got kind of notice from Yorktown that they wanted to kind of shut our operation down. They had done this with the previous owners, and we have had to work in a legal way around some of the city's ideas and ventures. And so we're trying to be as smart as we can and work within the parameters of the law to have people to be able to appreciate this building and to get time to have it designated as historic designation. And so we've started a membership program to allow folks into the hospital. So we're technically a non-commercial property. We're closed to the public, but we're open to members. And so it's very easy to be a member. You can just book, any kind of tour or investigation, and it'll include a day membership. But if you want to kind of go that extra mile and be a yearly member, we have a lot of different opportunities for those yearly members to get discounts on everything, to be part of all of our community programming, to do like lives, to do all kinds of things, and anytime you book something for up to 10 people, you'll get like $5 off if you are a member for the year, and it's $50 to be a member. And so it's a way that we're trying to also solidify a future for the hospital and that preservation for it, while making sure that we can get folks in and allow people to appreciate the history of the space and of time and how it's treated the space. Hopefully we're going to see as new owners that we get a new roof, we get some of the things that just make this a place that will last for maybe another 70 plus years, hopefully, or more. But it's definitely, we're going to invite the community part of that to be a part of that effort. This is not our our location. We believe that this is a place that is a history for all of us, for South Texans and for Central Texans, and so we want to celebrate it.
Awesome.
Nice.
Excellent. Well, on behalf of JJ Paranormal and 305 Paranormal, Stephen and Fred, we wish you guys the very best with the efforts that you're trying to do. So good luck with that. And man, I'm really happy for you guys. You guys are tackling a very big thing, but it's going to be well worth it at the end. Thank you. So folks, the best way that you can show love to the four of us is by helping out our viewers, our guests as well. So please make sure that you like and subscribe to everything that they do, so that way you can keep tabs on them. And if you're ever in the area, you can go ahead and possibly book an investigation.
Become a VIP member.
Become a VIP member, yes. And folks, as always, please remember, if you want to get spooked, hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and please feel free to comment on this episode. Tell your friends, tell your family, come watch Spook Coast to Coast. We'll see you guys live next Sunday. Take care.
Bye.